Our final match is Kick It Off, and I couldn't think of a better duo to close out the show. John Allen and Blink, take it away.
Thank you so much, Jason, and the rest of the desk, the rest of the crew as well. It's all led up to this. Vampire have all but won it, Blank, let's be honest here. But second place, as they've talked about, so volatile, as is every single position from there on down. With one more chance to test their mettle, the teams here today at the PMWI have to make it happen. Tony K has absolutely dominated this lobby.
Yeah, man. Good luck breaking his records next year, by the way.
Didn't even think about that.
That record will stand for eternity. It's going to be so difficult to break this. And honestly, the record breakers, prize pool is really cool. But I think Tony K has basically broken half of it because it will just be unusable unless they go for a complete reset.
What if we go for knockouts? No, 40.
Yeah, it is silly stuff, as is this circle. We've not seen something like this in a while, but this is our last match of the day. And as the boys in the desk were saying, Tiamba jumping up to 9th place with an opportunity to hit 5th. What is that all about? Twisted Minds, though, do not fail us now. You really had a good step up, and now the Infinity IQ dropping directly on their position. The Winnie comes out, but Ferrari, with the Ferrari peaks coming around the side, skirt. You liked that, didn't you?
I don't know. I'll have to think about that
So
one.
I actually wanted to say something else.
Yeah, I thought you did.
And then I was like, I'm just going to have to go for a car noise. It's all good.
Nyam.
Nyom.
Anyway,
We brought it back to basics. It's all good.
Crypto's gone full Wild West here with the Winnie and the double barrel shotgun, but it's working for a limited time only because the rest of the time it's Ferrari driving down the driveway and rolling over Twisted Minds. They're out, and that will finish their tournament.
Yeah, it was quick. It was quick. They went around the corner. No, it's not skirt. It's a skirt.
Skirt.
Yeah, it's a very...
That's a
large
clutch
car.
problem, that.
It's a large car.
You want to get that one checked out.
In the meantime, though, we do have a couple more positions. And you can see on the leaderboard on your right-hand side just how close this is. These teams are basically shoulder to shoulder in terms of points at the moment. 99 points in 5th place. 7th place is 98. 8th place is 96. And Tiamba, who's had a real hero run today, with 94 points. Easily breaking up to 5th place with that.
It is crazy. Not only that, but they have that opportunity to break a record. Blank, the record for most chicken dinners in a day was set last year. It was matched, I believe, by Vampire themselves, who held that record previously. I don't even want to talk. You're pointing at the stats. 8.4 is nuts. But anyway, Tiamba could break the single day dinner record, which stands at 2. They've had 2 today. A third one in this last match would break that record, earning them 25K.
Yeah, I'm hopeful for it, actually. I'd be happy to see it.
I think it would be cool. I'd
be really happy to see it. Obviously, a lot of pressure taken off these teams trying to get 1st place because it is impossible. It's genuinely not doable at this point in time for anyone to get 1st place. It's over. We are fighting for 2nd place, and Vampires are doing as Sir Tanny told them to do at the start of this tournament, which is just to have fun, which they certainly have this time around.
So you're looking at me. I'm doing some maths to check if it is mathematically possible or not.
No,
and I think you're right.
It's over 80 points.
Actually impossible.
Yeah, it's
which
impossible.
Is very, very rare for it to happen like this.
There's a lot of times where you could be like, it's very improbable. In fact,
it's possible,
almost nigh on improbable. But this time around, Vampires have put a stop to all that. They've put their foot down, and they've gone for an impossible scoreline. Here in PMWI, no one expected that coming out from them. We expected a good team, but the PMWI main tournament has been the Vampire show the entire time long. So get your Vampire fangs out, get your cloaks out, because we're repping them all the way next year.
Favorite Vampire of all time?
Favorite Vampire of all time? Tony, the Energy Vampire.
I'll take that. I'll take that.
Yeah.
He doesn't sparkle in the sunlight, so that's a correct answer.
Exactly.
There you go.
Obviously, Tony K is the opposite of that. He just energizes the rest of the team.
Absolutely. He is an incredible frontman.
Yeah.
A dominant force, a terrifying presence, a threat to anyone who steps into the plane with him.
100%, other than his own teammates, of course.
Well, yeah,
And even they're afraid of him.
to be honest, I wouldn't be surprised.
Stop making us look bad. We have 3 players on the top 3 elimination list, yet we look terrible because you've got 51 eliminations and we've got 30 and 28.
Right? It's absolutely nuts coming through. Mafioso is the closest on eliminations of a team, of a player that isn't on Vampire Esports, sat on 27 eliminations, which is a really good performance, by the way.
Yeah.
But Tony K has 51, so it kind of just doesn't matter.
You know, it's really good you bring that up as well, because Alpha 7, for a long time, kind of built off the backs of like players like Carrillo, as well as Revo. Very, very good players in their own right. Really good clutch factor on both their sides. I think Mafioso, for the long time, kind of sat in the dark for the team, right? He was a good player, he played solidly for them, was great support. And the fact that he's had this turnout of an improvement during the PMWI, I think Alpha 7 will be happy with how this tournament has gone. If not anything, but the wealth of experience the players have been able to garner and absorb during this tournament itself, because I think, you know, Gamers8 have put on an incredible show of teams here. Like, I would want something similar to this coming into PMGC. I don't know if I'm going to see something similar to come into PMGC, but I hope I do.
I don't know, man. I mean, well, as you say, we are just going to have to wait and see for that to be brought to bear. But this is an historic tournament, Blank, for sure. Given the dominance that we've seen here and the point sponge that has led to this calamitous volatility.
Absolutely.
It's legitimately from like 12th place up to, I mean, pretty much 4th place could just completely change this whole map.
It's very easy to switch things up in terms of prize pools at this point in time. So I think the only people that aren't stressed are Vampire and Max, who is screeching loudly over in the green room. I think it's actually a laugh, to be honest with you. But everyone else is properly stressed coming into this one.
It is so nerve-wracking. All of these teams who have driven so far through their regional stages to be able to qualify for this tournament, some through the All-Star stages as well, like Gladiators, who have managed to start to gain speed here in the final day.
Yeah, and I mean, it's been a long, long time coming. Box Gaming opens up towards Fabian from D plus Kia. We expected a lot more out of these guys. We just did not find it. The next circle, we'll see the shift there. Infinity IQ obviously getting their 4 elimination points over towards Twisted Minds, who have been sent back to the lobby for the last time. Circle moves down towards that southwest side, encompasses a very interesting finish. Over towards the western side, there is a massive amount of high ground, a huge mountain that will block out either side. It's a very, very fun finish for some teams, as we see a lot of them head over towards that massive high ground itself and start taking shots downwards. Fireflux look to be leading out that way with Infinity IQ directly next to them.
You've also got that Crater Fields high ground, currently occupied by 628, that northwest side of this circle that we normally see Gladiators on. 628 got there first, and the Gladiators have to play backstop, which they have been denied a couple times, so we'll have to wait and see if they're able to execute there. Again, a very solid high ground position, but it's quite close to the edge of the circle here, which means it's not guaranteed to be in these next couple of phases, and likely to be maybe a little bit of an overcommitment if you want to stay there for more than like half a minute to a minute.
I think the thing is, though, that you take up that position earlier on because it's not likely you're going to get a chance to have it again later in the game. So you pick that one up, and it moves hard over towards the eastern side. You can just tumble down in a buggy and get moving from there. So I think a lot of teams would like to take that high ground nice and early just to have it, right? 628 certainly have gone for something similar to that. They've got one player in 33Z up towards that northern side on Crater Fields. South side of La Cobreria. Alpha 7, though, look to be hunting over towards Gladiator's position in La Cobreria. They're directly behind them at the moment, and this will be an engagement for the ages, as this could settle whether Gladiators make it into a top 3 or not.
You have the 2nd, 3rd, and 4th place teams all on the northwest side of this circle, Blank. Alpha 7, as you're talking about, swinging through La Cobreria, They are going to get backed off, turned around,
That's
and we'll
really
have
good.
to reroute. This is, as you say, a brilliant news. Kitsune, the outpost, the backstop, the IGL, the brains in the Gladiators camp, sends them packing.
That was very, very well done. You know, the amount of times he's sent up towards this location and done nothing from it. But he has, time and time again, consistently sent towards this spot. For this reason alone, is just a spot of a team, it's careening through La Cobreria, and at this point in time, that rotation will just come in too late for Alpha 7 to make their way in. They will just get cut up. So really nice play there from Kitsune to send them back, because that would have made things very uncomfortable over towards the south side of Crater Fields for Gladiators. Remember, they're playing for that second place right now, as are 628 towards the center of the map and Alpha 7 sent up towards that valley on the northern side. But DRS, we know how good they can be with those long-range shots here over on Miramar, so they'll definitely have to be careful with this. They need a strong fight to start this off, get a good crash inwards. The circle moving further down towards that south side does encompass that massive high ground that Infinity IQ picked up nice and early.
Can they convert that into points, into ladder-ups? We're looking as well, remember, at Tianba. If they can continue their power of today from that south side of the circle, they might just be able to stand a little bit taller on those tables. 9th place right now for them, but we've spoken about the volatility enough for you to know that it is very possible for them to earn a whole heap of money this time around and break that daily chicken dinner record. DRS on the northeast side will have to push in. Alter Ego just a little bit ahead of them. Alpha 7 out to their west, so difficult choices to make. They could even swing around the east side of San Martin if they want to cross that road, which splits this circle in half, Blank.
Stalwart, 6th place right now, 98 points. 1 point behind Alter Ego in 5th. A very rough start to their tournament. Well, not their first game. The first game, it seemed like Stalwart were about to take everything home for themselves, but after that, things went very much awry. But they've definitely brought things back up to speed here. I think a lot of that has been just the case of any points that you get on board will take you further into the game. Nice little spin out from Tixie. Stops them dead short there. Messes up the bullets coming through from Team Falcons as they swing for a wide sweep down towards that south side. King just cannot hit these shots. He just needs to get one of the buggy's wheels, but they're already into cover. Looking to head down towards this compound that has been very strong in the past over towards this western side. Fortunately, will not be in the circle, but does give them an actual opportunity now to get in towards the rest of the zone.
Shots just not landing onto the Gladiators rotation. Towards the south side, they regroup, reassess, take stock, and plan their way forwards. Vampire on the east side, but the tournament locked down at this stage. Just looking to bleed it dry one more time. Box Gaming to their south. Do not want to be embroiled with this. Not given their current standing. They're towards the back of the pack when it comes to the spots that they can ladder up. So they do want to have one of the bigger games of that set of teams.
Yeah.
When it comes down to it.
They spent a lot of time rotating as well, John, so they're lacking a little bit on supplies. Not hugely to the point where they're just running through. They have nothing on them. Still working out fairly well. Gladiators, though, heading over towards the east a little bit more, and Geeke should have spotted out on this position. You can see towards the north of them, there is Fireflux holding alongside the warehouse. Pretty decent position. Next circle will pop soon, heads down towards this south side, in which Geeke's compound now becomes a veritable fortress for some of these teams to try and pick up. Kitsune swings towards the south. Tianba also in this location with Ren, just trying to scout out a little bit from the north, south side of Power Grid.
Alpha 7 up to the north with DRS on the overlook. It's a sticky situation, and having already lost a player, we'll see what they can do. Alter Ego, though, into the fray with Box Gaming, but handled business so efficaciously. Barely a trouble to be seen for the Alter Ego position. And now it's just Gosu wanting to get the res onto Duck, but they're still on 2 maximum.
Yeah, nice little swing there downwards. Yo-yoed it in and quickly picked up 2 players, which is very, very nice. I think for Alter Ego, It's holding on now. It was a central position along the roadside. A little bit more dangerous as you do have those long sight lines that are available towards that position, but in the ditch right now, this should be okay. And Alpha 7 just been hunted by DRS. They know they have to leave at some point, and they'll spring the trap.
They are biding their time. Not willing to leave this ridge just yet for DRS. Carrillo preparing for the battle to come. Alter Ego shooting out. Spot players from Vampire. On that southeast side, Geek close by. Could be a little bit of a pinch here for Tianba as they do sit furthest towards the edge with no hard rotate routes out.
Ravenclaw takes a couple of pot shots, but not too much. Geek has sent a lot of their resources over towards the northeast side. Kitsune breaks down towards the south to scout things out just a little bit because there is an entryway over towards the east, and Alpha 7 quickly break wide over towards the west here, but it is absolutely packed of players, and Alpha 7 could be just rolling over towards a wasp's nest.
Revo on fire in the vehicle there, goes down to the explosion. Does he have the cover to stay alive? Mafioso in the monster truck, clambering, scrambling up the hillside here to the cover of the rocks. Will be able to get away. Revo not so lucky, will be flushed. And now Alpha 7 sit on 2. Oh wait, hang on a minute. No, he wasn't flushed. He did get spotted. The smoke can drop, and Mafioso actually looking to pick him back up. Alpha 7 might have just made the cross.
Tianba sent really far up towards that northern side, in which case Vampires found at least one knock over towards them. Box Gaming cowering over towards their side in the dip as Alter Ego spun them out the way. Carrillo goes down as Axa from Team Falcons also gets involved in Alpha 7. Their run might be ending pretty soon as Mafioso takes a nasty hit to the head.
Oh, only Revo now remains. Mafioso burning down. Will not be resable here. And it goes over to 6-8. Not good news for Gladiators. Trying to make their run for that second place as well. Revo with the DBS close to the Falcons. Has 4 of them to worry about. 6-8 as well with 4 players alive. And Infinity IQ holding in this position for a while. The arbiters of this fight.
6-8's position is very dangerous though. It's open on their run out from their buildings on the northern side across the road. They're immediately sending for cover in the ridge side towards their south. DRS don't take too many shots towards them, but they're close to reject. Gladiators move a little bit closer over towards Geek's spot. Realistically, they just need to close down the run-outs coming from the south side, then can play from the road. But again, Alpha 7 likely not in a position to get too many more points here. 6-8 already found 1 a limb. And 10 points behind is difficult, but definitely doable right now for Gladiators. They still have 4 players, and 6-8 are in way more danger than they are currently. And this will be an incredible run, sprint for Gladiators towards the end of this tournament. The last minute men here.
Will they be able to push for the line? Get across as Yang falls first for 6-8. 126 points with the elimination that they've been able to get this game. Yang, a standout player for them. Going down here could spell disaster, but they have managed to move into position to look for this res. Infinity IQ might have a couple of sightlines over their way around the headland. Reject Tokyo sit ahead of them. Their main barrier right now for the forward push. The team from Japan currently sat in 13th place. Might decide the second place fight.
Reject Tokyo just setting themselves up now, as you say, versus 6-8. This is such an important engagement for the rest of the lobby. Alter Ego finding 4 eliminations as well, trying to chase up towards those positions in the top 3. Will be a much harder game for them, but currently they hold a nice spot on the roadside. Regiosio still concerned with DRS off in the distance. Now the Infinity IQ actually rock up towards 628's position 2. They're able to get Yang1 back up on his feet. A stun grenade sent out.
14th and 13th place teams surround 628 right now in second place. Will they be able to drag them down? An orb in the hands of Lufa. Terrifying to hear that echo across the hillsides of Miramar. You step your head out for just a second too long, and it's already taken off. As you say, DRS, the main threat that is currently concerning Reject Tokyo, and in fact, they're just going to fully disengage, get across the road, and crash onto Tiamba's position.
Yeah, push straight down, and Tiamba, they lost a couple of players earlier on, and should be easily enough taken out.
Hang on a minute.
They rock up towards that spot. 628 still holding in that position, and the circle heads towards the center, in which case Tiamba's spot very influential, and Reject Tokyo just picked that one up. Matic should have heard the engagement on that side. The entirety of Reject Tokyo is not over towards that position as of yet. Vampire also gets taken down, so Gike is further occupied on the southern side. This could be an opportunity now for Gladiators. In the meantime, the Infinity IQ still looking to go for pot shots to find these bits of damage over towards 628.
Now comes the push. Infinity IQ with Bentsu to the lead. Looks for 33Z. Ferrari down, and it's traded. 1-for-1 on the engagement so far, but damage inflicted to the back lines of Infinity IQ, and more still to pour on in. One player now stands. Bentsu in the face of danger. Two players to dispatch. Yang1 breaks out. First will be the one to take it down as well, and they stay up. They stay alive, and they get 5 points now so far, extending the lead they have against Alpha 7 and leaving Gladiators getting further and further into the dust cloud.
5 eliminations is way bigger than it seems in this engagement, in this match, with Gladiators finding absolutely 0 on the game so far. It makes the lead out really, really big here. Revo gets taken down, so Alpha 7 dispatched by Gladiators themselves.
And that is a massive potential ladder up for Gladiators. They started very, very close. And that third to second place ladder up, 75k. The fourth to third, 25k. All matters all the time, but Xing takes a knock and the flush as well to DRS on the northern side. The chance for Gladiators might have just represented itself. Fireflux taking heavy bombardment from Falcons. D plus Kia eliminated. Teams are starting to fall like flies, and Fireflux need to try and stand tall if they want to push up those tables. But unfortunately, their team are just not able to stand in the face of Falcons right now. Just Solus remains. And the flushes are coming through thick and fast. Around the corner he goes, but the DBS faster than lightning. And the Turkish roster taken out.
Team Falcons wrap their talons around the turkey and remove them from the tournament. Now the main thing we're looking at is Alter Ego. 7 eliminations so far found. Looking for a little bit more, 8 total. DRS also looking over towards 628 as they get a little bit closer, but they're also dealing with Alter Ego in the meantime. 33Z looking to pick up some more points to the team. Up to 7 eliminations now. Trying to, as you say, leave Gladiators in the dust, in the wind mirror.
Killer, the MVP from the All-Star stage, cannot stand up to 628. 4 eliminations for Yang1, 33Z with 3, 8 on the game. They may have just solidified themselves in that second place to play second fiddle to Vampires, an honor in its own right.
The Gladiators are running out of players to eliminate at this point in time to get those points on board. Yang1 still doesn't fall. Another nade goes their way, though. And still, it will not find that knock. Slippery fellow.
If 628 go down to Alter Ego, it's bittersweet for the Gladiators. Sure, 628 go down, but Alter Ego get more points and they get closer to the Gladiators total.
Circle centers up towards the roadside and the ridges that appear as we move out from the northern edge. Yang1 with a nade of his own, Fanatics down, and 628 looking to push even further in. They have been stellar on Miramar.
They crest the ridge, they draw the attention with a buggy, and Rosemary's next to fall. Tony K wants the blink, and Octa reversing down the hillside. Falls prey to it. Tony K picks up the point. Why not? Give him more eliminations. Make that record even harder to break. Schweppes goes down. Won't be able to add another revive to his tally, but shouldn't matter. He's still head and shoulders above the rest of them. Gladiators, they just haven't been in the engagements to get these points on board. And with a 20-point difference between them and 628, 19 when you add in the Gladiators' one elimination, it is slipping through their fingers faster than they would like.
Still, a top 3 finish would be really good on an international stage like this, where this is probably one of the most difficult international tournaments we've seen in a long time. A massive accolade to be found. And 628, their run hasn't finished yet. They're looking to pressure the #1 team in the lobby of Vampire. Stone trying to get swept back up on his feet here. Does finally get the pickup. The rest of 628 roll on in.
Up to the ridgeline, the roadside crossed. Tony K on the crate. Schweppes and Stoned reposition in the buggy, just about able to get out of dodge in time. Vampire stay up as 4, 628. The threat is 3, but we know what a buff that could be to them. Losing Sing earlier on. Tixi knocked. Playing close. Meku really risky to go for this, as Geek have great sightlines onto this cross.
Good
should
molly.
he want to go for it. Sara for reject Tokyo. Under pressure as Kitsune leads the charge in. Damage pouring in from the back. And the Falcons take it down. Gladiators want to keep themselves all alive, but Tixi is bleeding out fast. And the nade over the top to seal the deal. Kitsune also falls. The shots from Axa make their mark.
GK towards their eastern side as the Gladiators have stayed alive as quite a few players for a long time. The Falcons equally will be pushed in. And the Gladiators just trying to get towards the next position. The 3-player buff strong for 628. They did not want to finish out this game without a bang here. They're looking to take down Vampires in the last match of the tournament too, to solidify their second place in this tournament.
Tony K goes dangerously low, but stays alive crucially. The Gladiators fighting tooth and nail to ladder up into this 3rd position. A 25k pay jump as Asa falls down first. Meku plays forwards but gets knocked in response, and 6 able to pick up the slack here. Only 1 player now on the front. Kitsune, the IGL, as Geek push in behind. Kitsune under threat, and what more can he do? The palm tree to give him cover, sure. Can the Falcons stay up in the face of it? Popping the Sims, and Kitsune, the last hope for Gladiators to ladder up. Tony K is down in the meantime for Ravenclaw to go down second. And 33Z up to the bat against Stoned will fall. And the Vampires claim another victim. 628 go down, but they've done enough. The second place will go their way. Gladiators still clinging on, but finally fall in 4th position. Now Kike try to assuage the Falcons' push across the road. And they're doing good work, but will it be enough?
Hythe on this side for Team Falcons. What a way to win the tournament for themselves if they can get this win, but it's unlikely with the 4 players from the terrible squad of Vampire looking to finish out this game strong.
4 players stand. Champions in their own right. Dominating and finishing it out strong. If they want to convert here, they'll need to control 6 on the off angle at the back. Keep him away and descend these hillsides. They have 4 sightlines. They have 4 players, each more terrible than the last.
6 drops the smoke to get across. Ravenclaw gets himself 100% with the med kit. Been holding on to it for a while now. As a scout, he wants as much HP as possible as he moves in. 2 nades available. Ragnar creeps over the top side with the UMP, and Ravenclaw instantly steps up, but luckily Ragnar's able to get the better of him, leaving Vampire at 3 here.
An opening for Falcons to move up, but Ragnar will hold them out as well. Looks for more challenge. The UMP no match this time around, but with Ravenclaw down and Tony K looking for shots here, they need to find something. Schweppes falls next. 2 players for Vampires. Can the Falcons close out strong? Stoned and Tony K though, a very big hurdle to summit. Stone goes for 1, cannot find the second. The man, the myth, the legend, Tony K, the top of the tables. The damage will not be there this time around. The Falcons finally slay the Vampire threat, but they have done enough. A momentous occasion. The Falcons take the chicken dinner, but the Vampires will take home one of the most dominant performances we have seen in years, Blank. It is unrecognizable, this team. 4 times they've stepped up in Riyadh. 4 times. They have crushed the competition.
A shadowy miasma that's just giving off an oppressive mood here as they consume every single little bit of prize in the prize pool. They look happy with the results. Sertani's happy with his boys as well. And why wouldn't they be? They're going home with 400,000 from the main tournament alone.
Goodness me. This is a roster to fear. We'll be talking about this one for many years to come. And Vampire Esports close down the day, the third day of competition they've seen in the main tournament, the sixth day here in Riyadh so far. And every single time we see them, they gain momentum, they gather speed. Where will it be that they have to stop?
Vampires are your PMWI main tournament champions here in Riyadh. And there's no denying it. There was no denying it from day two, John.
We're heading down to the stage to check out the winner's ceremony. Vampire, take it home.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you are at home or if you are in the Gamers8 arena, give it up, make some noise for your 2023 PUBG Mobile World Invitational Champions, Vampire Esports!